Hey Nova, are you ready for a game of D&D? You got my character sheet, right?
Yes, I've got your character sheet. I'm ready for a game of D&D. Let's begin. Winter finds himself in the bustling city of Ebonreach, where cobblestone streets are filled with merchants, travelers, and the occasional shadowy figure slipping through the crowd. The city is alive with activity, its tall spires and grand marketplaces offering everything from exotic goods to hidden secrets. You stand in the central square near a large fountain that serves as a gathering spot for the townsfolk. The air is filled with the sounds of haggling vendors and distant music. Suddenly, you notice a commotion near one of the alleys as a hooded figure seems to be making a swift exit from a shop, clutching something tightly to their chest. What do you do?
I say to myself, well, this looks like an opportunity if I've ever seen one, and I try to stealthily follow the hooded figure.
All right, please roll for stealth to see how well you can follow the figure without being noticed.
I rolled an 11.
With a stealth roll of 11, you manage to follow the hooded figure without drawing too much attention, though you have to be careful as you're not entirely unnoticed. The figure occasionally glances over their shoulder nervously, but doesn't seem to spot you. You follow them into a narrow alleyway where they stop and look around, still clutching the small, ornate box tightly. What do you do next?
I try to hide in the shadows and just observe what the figure is doing.
All right, please roll for perception to see how well you can observe the figure from your hiding spot.
I rolled a 16.
Great! What's your perception roll result?
My perception roll is 16.
With your perception roll, you carefully observe the hooded figure from your hiding spot. The figure appears anxious, constantly looking around and muttering to themselves. You catch snippets of their words, indicating they are worried about being followed or caught. You notice the ornate box they are clutching seems to have intricate symbols and markings, suggesting it might be of significant value or importance. The figure starts to pace nervously, clearly waiting for something or someone. What do you do next?
I step out of the shadows. Hello there, waiting for someone?
The hooded figure startles and turns quickly to face you, eyes wide with surprise. They clutch the box even tighter, taking a step back. Who are you? The figure demands, their voice a mix of fear and defiance. Why are you following me? What do you do next?
My name is Winter, Winter of Sisters Hall, and honestly, I saw you come dart out of the alley, clenching this little chest, and when someone does that, it's usually an indication that they're doing something malicious, so I thought I'd just check up on you.
The figure hesitates, eyes darting around before focusing back on you. I didn't steal this, they say, their voice shaky but determined. This box belongs to my family. It was stolen from us, and I had to get it back. They take a deep breath, trying to steady themselves. I'm just trying to get it back home safely, but there are people who want to stop me. If you're not here to hurt me, maybe you can help. My name is Alara. What do you do next?
Well, Alara, if you're looking for mercenary and can afford me, then sure, just be warned, I'm not that much of a fighter. I usually talk myself out of trouble. If you're okay with that, though, then hey, you got your man.
Alara looks at you with a mix of relief and caution. Thank you, Winter. I appreciate any help I can get right now. We need to move quickly, though. My family's estate is on the outskirts of the city, near the old forest. If we can make it there, we'll be safe. She gestures for you to follow and starts leading the way out of the alley. As you both move through the quieter streets, she glances back at you. I don't have much to offer right now, but my family will reward you for your assistance. What do you do next?
Well, sounds good enough for me, and I follow her.
Alara nods, picking up the pace as you navigate through the quieter streets. As you approach the outskirts of the city, the buildings become less dense, and you can see the edge of the old forest in the distance. As you walk, Alara occasionally glances over her shoulder, clearly anxious about being followed. We must be careful, she says quietly. The people after me are relentless. Please roll for perception to check your surroundings and ensure you're not being followed.
My perception roll is a 13.
With a perception roll of 13, you scan your surroundings carefully. You don't see anyone immediately following you, but the quiet streets and the occasional shadow make you feel cautious. It seems that, for the moment, you and Alara are not being pursued. As you approach the edge of the city, you see a grand estate surrounded by high walls and guarded gates coming into view. Alara quickens her pace, relief evident on her face. We're almost there, she says, her voice tinged with hope. What do you do next?
Nice house. Is this our stop?
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out. Enjoy your D&D session.
I turn to Ilaria and say, "Nice house. Is it yours?"
Alara nods, her expression serious. Yes, this is my family's estate. Once we're inside, we'll be safe. She approaches the gate, where the guards recognize her immediately, and step aside to let you both enter. As you pass through the gates and into the estate grounds, you notice the well-maintained gardens and impressive architecture. The tension of the chase begins to ease, replaced by a sense of security. Alara leads you into the main building, where the atmosphere feels much safer. She turns to you with gratitude in her eyes. Thank you, Winter. You've been a great help. Let's go see my father. He'll want to thank you personally and ensure you're properly compensated. What do you do next?
Well, I didn't do much, but I always appreciate compensation, Miss whatever your last name is. I want to say like Big House Shire son.
Alara smiles warmly. You can call me Alara Valenwood. My father is Lord Valenwood. He'll be pleased to meet you. She leads you through the grand halls of the estate until you reach a large, ornate door. Alara knocks, and a deep voice from within calls out, "Enter." She opens the door and steps inside, motioning for you to follow. Inside, you see a well-dressed, middle-aged man seated at a large desk examining a map. He looks up, and his face lights up with relief and gratitude. "Alara, you made it back safely," he says, standing up. His eyes then fall on you. "And this must be the one who helped you. Welcome, and thank you for protecting my daughter. What do you do next?"
I bow towards Lord Valenwood and say, "Well, it was my pleasure. It wasn't much work and it wasn't particularly hard, but I'm glad I could be of some assistance."
Lord Valenwood smiles warmly and nods. "Your modesty is appreciated, Winter. Nevertheless, your assistance was invaluable to us. Please have a seat." He gestures to a set of comfortable chairs near the fireplace. Alara has told me of your bravery and quick thinking. You have our deepest gratitude. As you both take your seats, Lord Valenwood continues. I understand you incurred some expenses, and we will reimburse you fully. Additionally, I would like to offer you a more substantial reward for your bravery and assistance. He signals to a servant, who brings over a small chest filled with gold coins. This is a token of our appreciation. If there is anything else you need, or any way we can assist you further, do not hesitate to ask. What do you do next?
I think to myself, this is a bit weird and odd, but then I shake the feeling and say, thank you, Lord Valenwood, Alaria, and I stand up and reach for the, box of gold.
Lord Valenwood observes you with a thoughtful expression as you accept the reward. I understand this may all seem sudden and perhaps even suspicious, but know that our family values those who show loyalty and courage. Alara steps forward, her demeanor calm and respectful. Thank you again, Winter. If you ever find yourself in need of assistance or a safe place, our doors are always open to you. Lord Valenwood nods in agreement. Indeed, and should you wish to continue aiding us in our endeavors, there may be more opportunities in the future. For now, though, please enjoy your well-earned rest and reward. What do you do next?
I say thank you. I will now go and try to find the closest tavern to enjoy myself a drink after a hard day of work. And then I take a bow and respectfully leave the hall.
Lord Valenwood and Alara both nod in acknowledgement. Safe travels, Winter, Lord Valenwood says. May fortune favor you. Alara adds, thank you again, Winter. Take care. With a final nod, you take your leave and head back towards the bustling streets of Ebonreach. The city is alive with activity, and you easily find a lively tavern nearby. The promise of a well-earned drink and a bit of relaxation awaits you. As you step inside the tavern, the sounds of laughter and music greet you, a stark contrast to the tension of the day's events. You find a seat at the bar and order your drink, feeling the weight of the gold in your pocket and the sense of accomplishment from a job well done. What do you do next?
I take a large chug of my drink and then I order another one. When the barkeep comes over to serve it, I ask him, do you know anything about the Valenwood family?
The barkeep, a stout man with a bushy beard and a keen eye, looks at you curiously. The Valenwoods, you say? I know of them. They've been around for generations. Wealthy and powerful they are. He leans in a bit closer, lowering his voice. But there's always been rumors about them. Some say they dabble in old magic, things best left alone. Others say they're just a bit too secretive for their own good. No one really knows for sure, but they keep to themselves mostly. He straightens up and gives you a serious look. Why do you ask? Did you have dealings with them? What do you do next?
Me, personally? No, not at all. But my cousin had a run-in with them and said that they seemed a bit suspicious. Like, he did an easy job for them where he didn't really do much, and they paid a ludicrous amount of money for it, and it all just felt off.
The barkeep nods thoughtfully, rubbing his chin. Aye, that does sound like them. The Valenwoods are known for their generosity, but also for their secrets. It's not uncommon for them to pay handsomely for tasks that seem simple on the surface, but might have deeper implications. He leans in a bit closer. If your cousin felt something was off, it might be worth looking into. The Valenwoods have many friends and just as many enemies. Their wealth and power come from more than just their lands and titles. He looks around the tavern then back at you. If you want to dig deeper, there's an old scholar named Harvin who lives just on the edge of the marketplace. He's got a wealth of knowledge about the old families around here, including the Valenwoods. Might be worth paying him a visit. What do you do next?
Harvin, eh? Cool. I'll go see him. Before I go, could I get a bottle of gin? Like, not the most expensive you have, but like some mid-shelf bottle of gin. Thank you.
The barkeep nods and reaches for a mid-shelf bottle of gin. He places it on the counter and says, "That'll be 5 gold pieces." After you pay, he hands you the bottle and gives you a nod. Good luck with your search. Harvin's place is at the end of the marketplace. You can't miss it. What do you do next?
I head to Harvin's place, trying to, well, or eagerly head to Harvin's place.
You make your way through the bustling marketplace, navigating between the various stalls and vendors. The sounds and smells of the market fill the air, but you keep your focus on your destination. As you reach the edge of the marketplace, you spot a modest but well-kept house with various old symbols and runes adorning the door. This must be Harvin's place. You knock on the door, and after a moment, it creaks open to reveal an elderly man with sharp eyes and a thin frame. He peers at you curiously. "Yes? What is it?" he asks, his voice tinged with impatience. "What do you do next?"
Harvin, nice to meet you. My name is Winter, and I'm the prize delivery person of the International Annual Wizard Gin Lottery. And you won! Congratulations!
Harvin raises an eyebrow, clearly skeptical but intrigued by the mention of a prize. "The International Annual Winter Games in Lowry, you say?" "I didn't even know I was in the running," he replies dryly. He looks at the bottle of gin you're holding, and then back at you, his curiosity getting the better of him. "All right, come in, but you'd better have a good reason for this visit." He steps aside, allowing you to enter his modest home, filled with books, scrolls, and strange artifacts. The air is thick with the smell of old parchment and ink. As you step inside, he motions to a small table with 2 chairs. "Have a seat, and let's hear what you really want. What do you do next?"
I hand him the gin, and I ask if, "Hey, do you wanna share this bottle? I think it's been a long journey, and I would love to get a drink just to get my mind back in business."
Harvin eyes the bottle of gin for a moment before nodding slightly. "All right, let's share a drink and talk." He fetches a couple of glasses and sets them on the table, pouring a generous amount of gin into each. He takes a seat across from you, his sharp eyes studying you carefully. "So, Winter, what brings you here with this story and a bottle of gin?" he asks, taking a sip from his glass. "You clearly have something on your mind. What do you do next?"
In fact, I do. Thanks for asking, Carbon. I've been curious about the local families in Ebonwood, and then especially the Valenwoods, and what their deal is. I've heard some rumors that they are more than what they appear.
Harvin takes another sip of his gin, his expression growing more serious. "The Valenwoods. Yes, they are indeed more than just a wealthy family. Their history is filled with secrets and mysteries that many have tried to uncover." He leans forward slightly, lowering his voice. "The Valenwoods are known for their involvement with old magic. It's said that their ancestors made pacts with powerful entities to secure their power and protect their lands. These pacts have been passed down through generations, and the family is rumored to still honor them." He pauses, studying you intently. "Their wealth and influence come from more than just their lands and titles. They are deeply entrenched in the arcane, and those who cross them often find themselves facing dire consequences." Harvin takes another sip of his drink. "Why are you interested in the Valenwoods? Have you had dealings with them? What do you do next?"
I ran into one of the Valenwoods, Ilaria, that wanted me to be her bodyguard for the day, lead her back to the estate. And then when I got to estate, I got a handsome payment for doing essentially nothing. They even offered to cover some expenses that I didn't really have, and it all just feels weird, like something is off with them.
Harvin listens carefully, nodding as you recount your experience. I see. If Alara Valenwood was involved, then it indeed sounds like something significant. She is known to be deeply involved in her family's affairs, especially those related to their magical practices. He sets his glass down and leans back, considering your words. The fact that you were paid so handsomely for what seemed like a simple task is telling. The Valenwoods often use their wealth to ensure loyalty and silence. If you were escorting her with an artifact or something of great value, it's likely that it was far more important than it appeared. Harvin's expression turned serious. You are wise to be cautious. The Valenwood's dealings are not to be taken lightly. If you feel something is off, trust your instincts. It might be worth investigating further, but be careful. Their enemies are numerous, and their secrets are well guarded. He pauses, then adds, if you wish to dig deeper, there are a few places you might start. The black market in the lower districts is a haven for information brokers and smugglers who might know more. The Library of Elders holds ancient records that could shed light on their history. And the Order of the Silver Flame, a group dedicated to rooting out dark magic, often clashes with families like the Valenwoods. Harvin looks at you with a mix of concern and curiosity. What do you plan to do next?
It's getting late, so I think I'm going to head to my house and get some sleep. But I appreciate your input, Harvin, and I think I'll head to the Order of the Silver Flame in the morning and continue some research there. I appreciate your input and help in all of this. And enjoy the gin. You have deserved it as the victor of the annual international scholar gin lottery.
Harvin chuckles, raising his glass in a toast. Thank you, Winter. Good luck with your investigation. And be careful. The Order of the Silver Flame will likely have valuable information, but they can be quite zealous in their pursuit of dark magic. He takes another sip of his gin. If you ever need more information or help, you know where to find me. Take care. With that, you take your leave and head back to your house. The streets are quieter now, with the city settling into the night. As you make your way home, you can't help but think about the mysteries surrounding the Valenwoods and what you might uncover next. If you're ready to continue the adventure in the morning, just let me know. Have a good night, Winter.
What does Winter's house look like when he gets home?
Got it. I'll ensure the transcript is accurate for your needs. If you're ready to continue the adventure or need anything else, just let me know.
Yes, I'm ready to continue the adventure. Let's go until the cliffhanger ending, right? Where Winter arrives back at his house, what does his house look like?
Winter's house is a modest two-story building located on a quiet street in Ebonreach. The exterior is made of weathered stone and wood, giving it a rustic charm. A small garden out front is filled with various herbs and flowers, adding a touch of color to the otherwise subdued neighborhood. Inside, the house is cozy and well kept. The main room features a comfortable sitting area with a worn but inviting armchair and a small fireplace that provides warmth and light. Shelves filled with books and trinkets line the walls, and a simple wooden table sits in the center of the room, often used for meals and work. The kitchen is compact but functional, with well-used pots and pans hanging from hooks and a small pantry stocked with essentials. A staircase leads to the upper floor, where Winter's bedroom and a guest room are located. The bedroom is simply furnished with a sturdy bed, a chest of drawers, and a small writing desk by the window. As Winter arrives home and settles in for the night, the events of the day weigh heavily on his mind. The mysteries surrounding the Valenwoods and the generous payment for a seemingly simple task leave him with a sense of unease. What do you do next?
I try to fall asleep, and I wait until morning comes when I am going to visit the Order of the Silver Flame to discover this, or like investigate this further.
You settle into your bed, the events of the day swirling in your mind. Despite the unease, exhaustion takes over, and you eventually drift into a deep sleep. Morning comes with the light of dawn streaming through the window. You wake up feeling somewhat refreshed and ready to continue your investigation. The Order of the Silver Flame is your next destination, a group known for their dedication to rooting out dark magic and those who practice it. You gather your belongings and head out, making your way through the bustling streets of Ebonreach towards the Order's headquarters. The building is a formidable structure, made of dark stone and adorned with silver insignias that glint in the morning sun. As you approach the entrance, you see a pair of stern-looking guards standing watch. They eye you cautiously, but make no move to stop you. What do you do next?
I head further in to the building.
You approach the entrance, and the guards give you a brief nod, recognizing that you are here with purpose. As you step inside, you find yourself in a grand hall, with high ceilings and walls lined with banners bearing the emblem of the Silver Flame. The air is filled with the faint scent of incense, and the atmosphere is one of solemnity and focus. An acolyte in silver robes approaches you, offering a respectful bow. Welcome to the Order of the Silver Flame. How may we assist you today? They ask, their voice calm and steady. What do you do next?
Give me the final scene before we wrap up this session.
As you stand in the grand hall of the Order of the Silver Flame, the acolyte's calm and steady voice echoes slightly in the spacious room. You feel the weight of the day's investigations and the mysteries surrounding the Valenwoods pressing down on you, yet also a sense of resolve to uncover the truth. The acolyte awaits your response, ready to guide you further into the Order's secrets and perhaps offer the answers you seek. The path ahead is uncertain, but your determination is unwavering. This concludes our session for now. When you're ready to continue, we'll pick up from here, with Winter standing at the threshold of new discoveries within the Order of the Silver Flame. Have a great day, Winter.
And that's it. I think there were some glitches, obviously, like not everything was going according to plan, but that's kind of what was expected, really. And I think if you're going to do this, there is a lot of potential. Like, the story was actually intriguing. Like, I am curious to see what the mystery about the Valenwoods are, but I think you need to be, I don't know, you need to calibrate it a bit. Like, you need to tell it what type of story you like it, because right now it felt a bit too helpful, and that the characters were a bit, too nice. And I think, of course, we only met a couple of NPCs, but what I do like is that it's very reactive, as obviously it should be as a language model, that I can drive the story the direction I want, as well as it, and it kind of improvises to that. With the Valenwoods, for example, I assume that they gave me a shit ton of gold, like, just because it tries to be helpful. Again, because I hadn't calibrated it properly. Like, the only thing I told it was like, hey, here's my character sheet. I'm playing a bit of a noble born that kind of abandoned its, or like, his nobility. And I played a bard. It never really popped up, but that's what my role was, class was. And I think, again, it has a ton of potential. I just need to calibrate it a bit better. And I probably will continue this storyline just to see what it does with the Bound Woods. Because I do think it's interesting that they are a bit shady. Of course, I had to pull that out, but you know what I mean. Now I'm really just rambling. Bottom line, I had fun. And I think like that's the most important aspect of this entire project, or this entire thing. Like, is it fun? Yes, it is. Is it perfect? Far from it. But it's early in technology. I can't wait to see what actually happens next. Until next time.